All right. Right now in the five series, I'm going to respond to a comment by Frizz C. Frizz C jumped in my comments and asked me, can I do a video about jazz bassists? I always respond to my comments, and let's get into it. Jazz bassists. Some of these will be the bassist as a front man, and some of them will be the bassist as side. So we're going to start off with Charles Mingus. Pithecanthropus erectus. Now, that is a wordful, and it's a very important record in the free jazz, improvisational jazz canon. A highly influential record, a highly lauded record, and rightfully so. Charles Mingus is in his bag on this record, and the band is just on fire. All right, and of course the cover was a big influence on Low End Theory, A Tribe Called Quest, because Q-Tip knew what time it was when it came to this record with the long title that has a long history of being exceptional. Charles Mingus on the bass. Next up, Rick Laird. He was the bassist in Mahanivishu Orchestra. I can never pronounce that group right. I've mentioned this record before. It's a great jazz record. It's not a complicated record. It's not a hard record to understand, but the musicianship is top draw. Rick Laird is on bass. Joe Henderson is on sax, and there's Tom Green and Ron Steen. Well, it's just the musicianship is exceptional. But because we're talking about the bass, I'm just going to say that Rick Laird's touch is all over this record, and it's a great record. I spoke about it in my records for people who aren't really into jazz, and this totally ticks a lot of boxes because it's just like a beautiful jazz record that you can process and understand, and it drives, and it's forceful, and it's great. And it's called Soft Focus. In and Out, Joe Henderson's In and Out on the Blue Note label, a Sublime record. Richard Davis is on bass and he's holding it down. He's anchoring it. He's the cement that holds this together. While these exceptional musicians, Joe Henderson, Kenny Dorham, and Elvin Jones, just play their hearts out on this beautiful record. Richard Davis, one of my favorite bassists. He's a great bassist. He's a jazz bassist to get into. Bob Crenshaw on Gretchen Moncur, The Third's Evolution. I've mentioned his record before. It flirts with edges of fringe jazz, avant-garde jazz, free jazz, whatever you want to call it. It's not quite there, but it flirts with it, and it's absolutely great record. One of my favorite jazz records of all time, and Bob Crenshaw is one of my favorite jazz bassists of all time. He played the upright and he played the electric bass, and he held it down regardless. He's one of those guys. I feel like I don't pay enough attention to jazz bass, like to my detriment, right? But whenever I prick up my ears, I'll be like, what is that? And I go and check. 9 times out of 10 is Bob Crenshaw. He's just one of my favorite bassists, and yeah, he was the man known for playing with Sonny Rollins for many years, but he was the man in his own right. And you can't talk about jazz bassists without mentioning Ron Carter. I want to say, and I think this is a fact, he's played on more jazz recordings than any other jazz musician in the history of jazz. There you go. Where do you start with Ron Carter? I never knew where to start. I just thought I would just pull this live cut of this super group called the Quintet with Herbie Hancock, Freddie Hubbard, Wayne Shorter, Tony Williams, and of course Ron Carter, who formed like Voltron to just crush it and just put together this live album, which is creme de la creme of jazz musicianship. My favorite cut on this when it comes to Ron Carter's playing is the track called Laura, Lawra, Laura. He is just exceptional on this, but he always is just brilliant, Ron Carter. So that's what it is. Frizz C, five jazz bassists. We're getting it. We're getting it done. Hi-Fi Recluse is the group. Good Fine Records is the record label. Come on, let's get it.